Hello, I'm Chris Bailey. I work at Markit, which has been in the news a little bit lately, but some of you may not know us. Markit is a leading global provider of financial information services, which includes providing pricing and reference data, processing solutions, technology platforms, and managed services to help our customers meet and manage their regulatory requirements. I work specifically within the Market On Demand business at Markit. Market On Demand has been providing innovative custom white label solutions for nearly 25 years. You may not have heard of us, but if you've seen a quote or stock chart on the web, you've probably seen our work. We work with some of the largest banks, asset managers, and media firms in the industry like Morgan Stanley, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, BlackRock, CNBC, and New York Times here. We're based out of beautiful Boulder, Colorado, where I work with 475 great colleagues. At Market On Demand, most of our work centers around quotes, news, research, and charts. We also have an advertising business, which is getting around 2.8 billion impressions per month. So just for a sense of scale of what we're dealing with, we have a little over 1,200 different data feeds coming in and process over 1 billion quotes a day. This allows us to serve up more than 500 million page views on a typical market day. Today, I'm here to talk about charting and our new charting solution from Market On Demand. Charting is a core feature of most financial and investing applications. You'd be hard-pressed to find an app out there that doesn't in some way connect their users to charting. And charts help their users quickly visualize complex data and spot trends and patterns that can help them make timely decisions. Markit started charting back in 1992, sending charts out over fax. Those quiet little machines that picked up the phone when you misdialed it. As the internet grew and became more of a go-to tool for our users, in 1997 we added the browser as another platform that we deliver charts to. Since our very first charts, we have been constantly pushing ourselves and redefining what can be done with our charting platforms. Technology has become more sophisticated, standardized, accepted, and widely available. As technology charges forward, new platforms become available. We have moved from manually plotting by chartists to automated analysis by robo-advisors, automatically readjusting your portfolio to mitigate risk. As technology has become more ubiquitous and intrinsic to life, our users has also become more sophisticated. Access to information has lowered the barrier to entry for a retail investor. With their increase in knowledge, they consistently expect their charting experience to be much more rich and interactive. They have moved from looking at dojis on candlestick charts to plotting Fibonacci retracements, spotting resistance in the market. Even with all the technology and platform advances, financial charting is still complex. Charting normalized data is not the hard part of charting. There are numerous packages out there that can plot daily temperature or your monthly energy usage or what have you. Financial charting presents a multitude of edge cases, and it's from those edge cases that the complexity arises. You're handling the nuances of multi-axis labeling, collision detection versus readability, mixed periodicity of data sets, 25,000 miles of Earth, making a 24-hour day with 39 different local times. You'll have full and partial holidays, lunch breaks, splits, and their recalculations, emergency exchange stoppage, and all that, while keeping interfaces intuitive and beautiful. Our users are trading globally across disparate data sets and disparate data providers, spanning numerous exchanges and multiple time zones, and assorted asset classes. Throw on top of that nobody really wants to understand how to recognize those asset classes, and there's 100 different ways to define anything tradable, and mapping all that out is an art of its own. This all leads to the fun part of charting, handling all this complexity while keeping usability and familiarity across multiple platforms, adding new features to platforms when they make sense, and once in a while getting added an entirely new platform as well. So at Markit, we have consistently simplified our approach over the years as we learn more lessons and move towards even more elegant user interfaces and technical solutions. The biggest lesson we've learned is to normalize the data. The data is the hardest part of charting. Data is wild. Data is feral. You bring in a new data source, and it in no way represents the agreed upon spec. Once you think you finally have it understood, it throws you for another loop and gives you a value that you can't possibly think makes sense. Entire industries are built on herding data cats and domesticating them. We've been normalizing data for almost 25 years, and it's still hard. But we've built up a good tool set around our EDM, and this has allowed us to deliver a normalized data set no matter the source. Next, we build once and use many. We have a standardized API that drives our entire new charting solution. This API gives us a standard set of endpoints that provides all of our different platforms' data. Couple standardized API with a smart versioning system, and this gives us the ability to add functionality while maintaining backwards compatibility. We also understand that we don't know the future, and we don't know the scenarios and use cases that our clients and users will have. We know that we're going to have to bolt something on at some point, so we strive to make our APIs and platform libraries as extensible as possible. Finally, you build to the platform. Desktop is not mobile. Mobile is not even really a phone anymore, and fax machines still exist. So we build to the platform and add parity where it makes sense. Our goal is to make the platform as usable as possible and keep the core thread throughout all platforms so the users are entering familiar territory while still taking full advantage of the platform's capabilities. So, talked a little bit about that. Let's go ahead and dive into our charting solution and the platforms we support. First off is our HTML5 platform. It's built for the web. This is our fully responsive, highly interactive client-side browser offering. We built this platform using modern web standards, which really means IE9 and up. This has allowed us to use Canvas element for our rendering, which gives us the freedom that we need to build more interactive interfaces that just feel right when the user's using the chart. Integration with our HTML5 platform can be as simple as adding a single script tag to a page. Up next is our mobile offering. It spans both Android and iOS and brings a simple integration into any mobile or tablet app. Even though we have a responsive HTML5 platform, mobile is still not caught up on the performance side on web views. Because of this performance gap, we decided to go the native route. So that allows our users to gain the quality of experience, and they're able to touch their financial data and hopefully learn something new from it. Integrating with our mobile SDKs is as simple as pulling them into your app, pointing them towards one configuration file that supports both iOS and Android. And finally, let's not forget IE6, as well as all the other use cases for static imagery. We have an image-based solution that operates over plain old HTTP requests. This robust image API gives you a simple way to get best-in-class charting functionality with minimal integration overhead. All right. Now that we've had a brief look at our charting solution, let's see how easy it is to integrate and what it looks like in action. All right, so first off here is just a very minimal HTML5 chart example. With it, it's in the background, we're loading up one script. It takes one div, and you can get that down to one line, but we did 6 lines of code there to instantiate a new chart. With that, you get best-in-class interactive charting that brings you all the tools and everything else that comes with our HTML5 solution. But let's go ahead and move over to a little bit larger one and show off what we have there. So I have this fully set up. There we go. So this is just our basic HTML5 chart loaded up full screen. With this, it only took a few lines of code to get this in, but now we get everything that comes with it. And as I just start zooming around, panning around, you can see all this is built, renders very quickly, even on my Mac, which doesn't seem to ever be the fastest anymore. And so this is one of the reasons why we chose Canvas over SVG, as when you start getting a lot of elements on a page, we noticed that Canvas gave us a little bit better performance out of it, so we decided to go that route. And with that, we built this on top of D3 in that direction as well. I talked a little bit earlier about extensibility as well. So in this example, I'll just go ahead and start adding in a lot of indicators and lower indicators as well. All these are built on a standard interface that allows you to, as we gain more indicators or work with clients who have certain indicators that they're going to want to add, we have the ability to extend upon our libraries and our APIs to be able to allow for that. We also give that same functionality with our tool sets. So this is, drawing some Fibonacci. We've built quite a few tool sets out here, but once again, those can be extended on very simply based on our design pattern that we have for it. All right, now for a couple of examples that we have here. As I talked before, charting's still hard. It's real easy to chart this one. We just have pretty normal data here. But once you start adding in some of the fun edge cases, that's where charting really starts to be fun. This looks normal, everything goes to 0. But once we go to a 5-year, that's where a lot of a lot of current charting packages will fail. Facebook has been trading for 5 years, and so a lot of them will start normalizing out at the very first date, and Facebook will start charting up. So it throws off the entire data set and doesn't give you actual good data coming out of it. So this is one area that, it's one of those edge cases that you have to, it's easy to solve, but there are a lot of them in here. My personal favorite edge case has always been the x-axis. Extremely complicated to draw sometimes. So it's easy when we have a 5-year one. But when you start getting to intraday, that's where it starts to become a little bit more complicated. Right here, we're looking at BP across the London Stock Exchange and the NYSE. There's 5 hours of difference there, and finding a way to actually do that on a x-axis is a lot of fun. We actually happen to be at a good time where we also have a holiday in here, and it just shows a little bit more of the edge case in there. London was off for Friday and Monday, while US was only off on Friday. This allows us to find ways to actually collapse our data sets while still showing that there was a holiday in there only for the London Stock Exchange. And so that was our demo. And so thank you for taking time today to listen to me talk a little bit about charts and see my presenter view over here. So if you have any questions, feel free to stop by the Markit booth. We'll be there all day and look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.